Hello guys, so welcome to KO Tutorials. So let's start with the next part of this tutorial. So as you can see over here, we have unwrapped this tire rims over here. Let's first open the reference over here. So we'll be going into the reference first over here. As you can see, we have taken the reference over here and we have unwrapped this uh, tire, that's your rims over here. If you look at it, we have just unwrapped it. So now let's go into this folder over here. We'll open those UVs in Photoshop. So that's we have named it as wheels UV over here, and let's open this in Photoshop. So what we'll be doing over here is, already we have unwrapped this part. We will be opening this texture in Photoshop. I'm sorry, not this. We'll be again opening that part. That's not that file over here. So we'll go into this truck over here, texture, base UV, chases, tire rims UVs. That's what. Okay. So now what we'll be doing over here is like just off this old file. Let's go into this. So very first of all, what we'll be doing over here is like, let's just take a new layer and let's just give a color to it, and let's just give a screen mode over here. Let's go into file, open, and now what I'll be doing over here is like, I'll be just taking some texture over here for that. So what kind of texture we can take is like, we can mix 2 or 3 textures over here. So definitely we won't take the totally old texture. We can take this texture. This is a good texture over here. So that's what your texture. We can take this texture over here. So let's just take this texture over here. After taking this texture, let's just resize this texture over here. We can scale it. We can just push it up a bit, and if you require to merge some other texture, we can go with that also. So if you want to merge any other texture, let's just merge this texture. We can just merge this texture also. So let's just take this texture on top of it, press Ctrl T over here. It's a very big texture, so let's just resize the texture over here, and let's just place it on top of it. After that, we can just give a mask on top of it, and if you want to just blend this, you can just blend it also. We can just blend it if it is required over here, and we can go into the mask, take a brush over here, and lightly, if you require to rub it, that can be done over here. Alright, so roughness, that can be added whenever it is required. So let's duplicate this and just push it on top of this over here. That's it. So once you're done, you can just off this, both the layers. Let's go into file, save as tire rims, and just name it as texture and save it. So let's go into this over here. We can just select this. Let's go into the material. So let's go into the material over here, and let's just take a V-Ray material over here, and let's call a texture over here. So go into the texture, and we have that texture, that's your tire rims texture, and let's just assign that particular texture over here. So as you can see over here, we have assigned this texture over here perfectly. So now what I can do over here is like, so if you are done with this, you can just right click and just convert to editable poly. As you can see, we have press Alt and Q, that's your isolate selection. That's perfect over here for now. So what I can do over here is like, I'll just convert this to editable poly now. I'll go into the polygon stuff over here. Same, I'll select this and I can use this grow option over here. So instead of this, we'll be just excluding this stuff over here. So what I can do over here is like, I can go on to this view over here. I can just select this and this, and if I go with this grow option over here, you can see that we have used this grow option. Now press Ctrl I, that's your inverse selection. Let's go into the material over here and let's take a V-Ray material. For a tire, let's give a dark color over here. We can give a bit of reflection, is not required, but we can give a bit of depth. Definitely we'll be assigning some bump also on it. So just assign the color over here on top of it. Whatever you want, you can just assign that. Now into this, the rims part. In the rim, if you want to assign, you can just go into a normal bump and just connect it to the bump map. Let's go into the normal and let's give a noise onto it. So we can just add a bit of noise on top of it. So duplicate the noise, go into the noise, say as a fractal, and reduce the size of the noise to 0.2 over here. So it will definitely give you a bit of roughness over here. So if you want to give some more roughness to this tires also, we can add some bump over here. So let's add a noise directly over here. So let's add a noise map over here. So let's add a noise and let's connect this noise to the bump map directly. So let's go into the noise and let's give, you can see, we can see some kind of a depth. So let's give the noise as 1. Or if you want to increase its noise, you can go into this bump value over here. You can go down into the maps. You have this value on this bump. You can increase that. So you can again go into the noise and give it as 0.5. Much better. So now what I'll be doing over here is like, you look at it, you see this. If you press F4 over here, you see that we have assigned this over here. Oops, I think we missed this, not a problem. So just select this and this and this. Just go into the material. So make sure whatever UVs you are giving, that should be up to the mark. So just I'm just assigning it very normally over here. Alright, so once you're done with this, so right click and just say and isolate for this. So what I can do over here is like I can just select this part also. If you want to unwrap it, you can unwrap it and give a texture also, not a problem. So we'll be just selecting this grips over here now for this. So let's go onto this view over here, just select this, exclude all of this which is not required, please exclude that part. So just go on excluding those stuff which are really not required. So after that we also don't require this tires over here, we only require the grips over here. So we'll be just selecting this grips over here, and for this grips we'll be just assigning the same texture, or if you want to give a bit of a darker one, you can just go with the darker shade, not a problem. Alright, so make it more darker over here, now looks much better over here. So now what we'll be doing over here is like, so let's just duplicate all of these tires over here. So very first of all, what I'll be doing is like, I'll be just selecting this stuff which is required over here. Just select all that parts which are required over here. You can just select this part and I can just go into this and I can just group it. So select this and just delete. Oops. So now you have to delete this section again over here. So just select this. So the elements which are really not required, please deselect that, because we don't want to select that part. We only want to select this part. So only you have to make the selection for that part over here much better. And so I'll just exclude this also, the bolts over here easily, and let's just delete this part. So already we have grouped this element, so let's just duplicate it in this way. So we can go into this view and we can see that, hope it's in a straight line over here. So once you're done with this, now what we can do is, now the same thing will be reassigning it over here also. So let's just subtract all these elements over here. So subtract all these parts over here. So just deselect that. Okay, we also need to deselect the bottom part, that is this one. So let's just delete it. If you want to delete it, you can. Definitely we'll be deleting it, but before that I'll be just excluding this part over here. And just delete this part. So once you're done with this, just select this and this over here, and let's just give mirror over here. copy it and let's just push it over here. So make sure you are pushing it at the right place over here. That's it. So as you can see over here, we have if you look at it properly, we have definitely unwrapped this part. Now let's select this over here. We'll be just selecting this bolts over here. Let's again go into this V-Ray material and let's just assign one metal texture over here. We'll be assigning one metal texture over here. Just assign that texture on top of it and let's just give a UVW map and let's give a cylinder, or you can also give a box to it, not a problem. The same thing will go with all of this. So select this all over here. Let's just assign the same texture over here. So select this all and let's go into this view over here and press shift and let's just duplicate it. So you can just duplicate this part over here for this. Much better. Now it looks much better now over here. Now again I will select this element. So save your file again one more time. So select all of this, go again into material and let's just assign this and press shift and duplicate it. Just push it at the right place. So as you can see, we have what we have done over here right now is we have just duplicated this, textured this tire section over here. So save your file over here and just save your file. So now what I want is we'll just texture this. So if you want, you can just give a color to it, or if you want to go with a metal, then you need to search for such kind of a metal, or if you want to go with such kind of a color over here, so you can go with the color also, not a problem. So what I'll be doing over here is like I'll again go into the material over here and let's again take a V-Ray material. I'll go into this and I'll pick any color. I'll go into this and I'll pick any color to it. More towards the orange part and just assign that particular color to it. So select this, this and this. We will just assign the same color on this also. Much better. Now looks good over here. So keep on saving your file over here now. So save your file. So guys, if you have any doubts, please write it in the comment section. I'll definitely come up with the doubts. And please like and subscribe my YouTube channel, that's KO Tutorials. So we'll continue the rest of the part in the next tutorial. So thanks for watching this tutorial.